what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah.
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, move on to treat, yeah. Keep listening.
Hello and welcome into the Tuesday edition of your show. And boy, what a day it's been here in the Dufferin Avenue Media Network Studios inside the Sotner Concrete Services Clubhouse. Woo! The wild one. Uncle Brando was in, and Uncle Brando and Gary got good at games again. We played some Super Ninja Boy. That was all awesome. Then we did a bunch of editing, and it was trial by fire, but we got that done. And then we got more projects on the go. Everyone here is doing projects right now. It's absolutely ridiculous, but we always love to be doing cool shit. And that's what we always say around here. That's what we do. My name is Gary. I am your host. This right here, still, as far as we know, the only show on the internet, originating from 4 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, and originating from Saskatoon. And so damn proud to be able to say that, because when you're doing stuff no one else is doing, that's how you get noticed. We also have special days around here, and today is one of those special days. We'll introduce you to our co-hosts for the day shortly. First off, I can't quite get this camera right because I can't quite see it right now. We got LB on the ones and twos today. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You went right for it. Are those my legs or your legs? Oh, those are nice legs. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Maggie Cam. Look at that. Lurking in the shadows. Sweating, but not as much. AC is going, thanks to our friend Marcel at Nickel Plumbing and Heating, best in the biz at what they do. Speaking of best in the biz at what they do, Pet Plant on 8th Street, so proud to bring you this Maggie Cam, all right? And 5-time award-winning. We go there, and everything gets better. Everyone we talk to when they go there, everything gets better. It's not just about all the amazing products they have, but the people as well. People you can get behind, people that agree that we should be putting others before ourselves, people that follow those golden rules. And that's Mike and Rochelle. They run the place. When you walk in, you see their greeting dog just like Maggie around here. Their greeting dog's name is Leroy. And Leroy walks up to the till. And then you're just going for it, man. Whether you're looking for all the latest toys or all the latest outfits, or if you need a clean. They got the best cleaning station in the history of cleaning stations. This is so cute. Look at that. As well, they got all the food your heart desires for all your pets, including the raw foods in the back in the fridge. If you want to switch to the raw diet, you can totally do that too. They got buckle-up collars, matching leashes. They got everything, okay? Toys, treats. I could keep going. You've heard it all before. The point is you want to go in there and say hi, because they're just really good people doing really, really cool shit. And we always appreciate that, because that's what we do here as well, all right? And if you're looking for something and they can't find it, guess what? They'll order it for you. That's what I mean. They're always doing cool stuff like that. So they're also open after hours and on weekends, thanks to Kirsten and Chris. That is our friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Look at her go, hey? I wonder if she's going to make her way up, or she's going to stay right here. So there you go. That's the rundown. We got you all caught up. Now it is time for us to introduce our co-host for today. I'm just waiting for this to load up. I know it's going to go. Look at it, blank. I got a blank screen. Oh, there it is. Hey! And you even had the new one. LB is an absolute genius. That's probably why it took a while, hey? Very, very cool. Intro video start. Is that the new one? Okay, I won't worry about that one. Without further ado, we have an intro. Welcome to the All That Angst podcast. It's the boys! Yeah! Matt from all the bands, Uncle Mike from all the natural products. Together, they have created this beautiful thing. Oh, look at that. That looks really good,
that
too,
looks
doesn't
great.
It?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh,
25 years of blood, shred, and beers.
I love that. The rhyming sequence is fantastic. How's your cord doing over there?
It's obtrusive?
So we've been moving and shaking. The whole day started in here. We had a live viewing room, LB and Dragon were in here, and they did their thing. They reviewed Indiana Jones.
Ooh.
Now, which one do you think they reviewed? Real quick.
Temple of Doom.
Last
No.
Crusade.
No.
The other one.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's a good try. And then one out of 3 chance.
Is that the first one?
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
for some reason, I thought Temple of Doom was the first one. But I always get, anytime there's a trilogy,
Yeah,
unless
always
it's
next one.
1, 2, and 3.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get that one.
You know, Star Wars or Indiana Jones.
Always.
I always get them mixed
with
up.
you.
To me, it's the same with song titles and stuff. I don't remember them.
Yeah, exactly.
Here. LB? Oh, transition away, buddy. Here we go. Do you want me to hit the intro again? Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Diamond Wipe.
He's been really flexing.
With a color that kind of like that Mopar
He had me
green diamond
sitting-
white.
He had me sitting in here, and he was like, "Just don't move," and he was like aiming stuff into my face, like different colors, and yeah, he's going off. This is what I mean. So they've been going since this morning. They did the show, and then LB stuck around for the stream, and then he's working on a set for the brand new viewing party show, the 13th Melon. Go Riders!
Oh, yes.
Very cool. So he's been cutting stuff and moving stuff while we were doing stuff in here. You're outside lining stuff up. It's been nuts. But now that we're here, and now that we've caught our breath, how are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Pretty dang good. I'm not going to lie. I'm doing pretty great.
I'm going to get your cord. Matt from all the bands, tell me why you're doing so good.
Why am I doing so good? Just good progress with the band. You know, the show's coming
You're
together.
on the bench. I didn't know you were on the bench, bro.
Okay, I see what's going on here.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all good. We'll just.
But no, I've got one of our tracks mixed and mastered for the new Untimely,
Woo!
so that's sweet.
I
And
love
you know
that.
did a bunch of the Untimely jams and the Raven Witch jams. So like things are starting to tighten up, which is comforting because.
'Cause you got a show coming
Yeah, I
up.
do have a
Yeah.
show coming up.
Yeah.
But
Very soon. I'm pumped for that. Oh, are you prepared?
I would
you ready?
say we're pretty prepared. We got a few. We're doing a cover, and it's we always cover the band Death. We always cover a song by that band, and it's a very technical one. And there's kind of like stops and starts, and then parts where like the vocals come in a half bar ahead, and then the whole band has to come in right on. So if I come in a bit early or something, it can just set everything off, and then
Right.
we're like a half measure off Brian. So like that's one. I'm going over it a lot because I need to have that one down pat. But we'll have it ready. We'll have
like
it
that.
ready.
That makes
You
me
got
We
some
made
time
it. We
still.
made it through in the jams, but it was kind of one of those ones where we're like, "Who made that by the skin of our
Yeah.
teeth?" type of deal.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. If you didn't see the poster, June 7th,
June 7th.
Black Cat. Be there. It's going to be an awesome time.
It's I can already feel the momentum. Like I'm already getting people, like,
Reaching out.
do we need to get pre-sale tickets, or like, which is always a good sign, a
Yeah.
couple weeks before
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever. And like,
for sure.
I went out postering yesterday for the show, which was
Yes.
nice, and like,
no one posters
like,
anymore.
well, yeah, it's something. It's just like I like doing it. We've always did it, and it's just part of the process for
Oh,
us.
yeah.
And
Yeah. Gets you in the zone.
boots on the ground, and even going to like your vinyl exchange, vinyl diners. Going to the Black Cat, getting them in those like main stores is nice. And then we always do down Broadway and Second Ave. And
Yeah.
like, man, before when I would go out, I would always get asked like, "Hey, do you know where I can get weed?" Because apparently I look like someone that
Right.
smokes weed. But now that everyone sells weed anymore, now it's just like, "You got any smokes?" So like I was probably asked, I'm gonna say 17 times.
Oh.
Like it was just every time someone comes up and they'll like slowly walk up to you, it's like they're about to ask me
Yeah.
for a smoke. And it's
You can see the sheepish little walk. Like, hey, bro.
I get it. Luckily, I quit that about 9 years ago, but
Congratulations.
Well,
and specifically so I can turn down the.
I was just gonna say it's easier, if they ask for change or something like that one's maybe harder to get away
But-
from.
well, that-
Mind you,
now
maybe people don't
no
have
one has change
anymore
anymore,
these
so
days,
it's-
right? So maybe
Once they start
smoke
getting,
is
"Hey,
more
can
the
you
currency."
e-transfer me?" It's like,
Right, yeah.
Can I
give you my Venmo?
I hate to burst the bubble, but they're already doing that. I've seen some videos.
e-transfer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Ow. Yeah. They,
Crazy.
They walk around with one of those transfer things, and it's like. you
Oh,
tap it, you tap it,
a
you don't
Mastercard
get-
Square
Yeah.
or whatever.
You just tap it,
That's
you-
amazing.
Like if you're hustling that hard,
Technology,
bro,
baby.
I don't know if that's a case of somebody, hustling so hard to save up to get that so they can transition.
Yeah.
Or you have money going in, you're like, I'm just going to take
Yeah,
this
no
around
no
and do it.
judgment from me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a tough world out there. That is first for Uncle Mike. How are you, my sweet prince?
Doing pretty dandy.
How dandy?
Pretty dandy.
Not the dandiest?
Not the dandiest, maybe. I don't know. No, I don't know. It's a nice day outside. It was a decent day
Looks
in the
like your
shop.
mustache got a little extra work on her today.
Did it?
You been doing some twisters?
Doing this a little bit. A little
Stash
bit
wax in
extra.
there?
No, I didn't actually. I put some beard oil in it this morning, I guess.
It's holding
but-
very
yeah.
well.
I think it
Impressed.
kind of gets to that. It's like the length where it just kind of holds now. I haven't had a
pocket.
trim or a haircut
pocket.
in,
And
6
just because
months or
he's
whatever.
such a man, it just like he can just like
knows
It's
better.
scared to
brush it,
move.
and it's like
It's
just
scared to
perfect.
move because it knows what I'm going to do
That's
to
right.
it.
you get the old belt out.
Yeah.
Stare it down in the mirror, hey?
Yeah.
You
frickin'
freeze.
move,
You freeze.
mustache.
All right, you guys. We are very fortunate to have a man who also produces as well for this show, as you sent us something really cool that we are going to talk about today.
Yes.
Why don't you guide us through this?
And I'm
set
not
up what
gonna-
we're
again
about
not going to take credit for all this because usually
no.
on Tuesday at lunch, me and Aaron will rap back and forth like, so what are you going to talk about? And I'm like, well, we haven't really thought of anything yet. And then we kind of.
I get the feeling that Erin doesn't like our style of just coming in and having conversations.
I think she likes the style. It's just I personally like having something like. I'm one of those guys. I'm kind of a naturally anxious person,
Me
so
too.
I like having something just so like in my back pocket. If I get here, I just always feel like I'm gonna be like Garth Elgar when Wayne
Right.
leaves. I'm like, so yeah.
I literally just had this talk with Uncle Brando because Uncle Brando streams right up usually until the show. We ended a little early today, but I asked him if he wants to say. He's like, I don't know if I have much to say about that. I said, well, dude, like most of the show is we go into it without having much to say about anything, and then we just talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like, so just so you're like, I get where you're coming from.
And I'm kind
also,
of, it's kind of fun having a theme too because I find you can like rap like over it. So, and basically where it came from was Mike Manza, who's he's in Untimely Demise now. He's part of the family.
Hear, hear.
He's playing the second guitar and he's part of the band. But it's a leap of faith that he's taking, and I just respect this, where he's moving from Winnipeg, where he's got his family, bands and all this, an established kind of his job, and he's moving, our buddy Susan, they've been dating for a few years, and they've kind of made that decision that they want to, kind of move in together, and he's coming from Winnipeg to Saskatoon, and I just respect it so much because, like, it's scary, to like you've got all these like comfort things. But then I was just thinking maybe we could do a show like just that idea of leap of faith and like I think I'd said like why we do it, when it works, and then
rundown,
like
man. It's
then
amazing.
like what happens when it doesn't. But I feel like with all of our kind of perspectives, we all have to be risk takers because that's the nature of kind of what we do.
You're looking at two jabronis who took big risks, very big risks with starting their own businesses.
Well, the
alone.
whole business here, like that. Yeah.
And that was him how many years ago?
Yeah. 2010. I got the shirt.
There you go. There you go. It's official. It's on the shirt.
That's why you
that
get
helps me
Uncle Mike
remember.
shirts.
It helps me remember.
So 15 years ago.
Yeah, I guess.
You've been
that's
Uncle
the
Mike
math.
for 15 freaking years.
Yeah, and
Probably longer.
a
before
little
that was
bit longer than that,
established.
right?
Yeah.
Because that's
So-
when I officially okay,
I'm gonna go for it.
I should get a business license and register the business.
So
and do kind of the official businessy
Yeah,
stuff.
2010. That's when that was your full-time gig. As far as there was no, or did you have side hustles for the start or?
I want to say no. 2010, I started the business, but I was still working. But I was working at the high school, so I had
Yeah.
summers off and short days.
Yeah. Do you
but I
remember
was-
when you went where you're just like, this is too much work. I need to just go all in on the Uncle Mike's or?
Really, probably the tipping point was when we had our first child, when we had Silas.
Yeah.
And then that was okay, now I've kind of been working at the business for a little bit. It's, loosely starting to gain some momentum or whatever. And probably the really convincing part was okay, I'm going to go work a job where I'm not making that much money. And my whole wage, because there was no subsidized daycare 15 years ago or 13 years
There's
ago
no
or
nothing
whatever.
probably back then.
Literally, we priced it out. It's dude, my whole freaking paycheck is going to go to paying for daycare or 80% of it.
Yeah.
plus the gas to drive to work, whatever. Obviously, just the idea of someone else raising your kid
so
when it's like it was a straight like I get a paycheck, it's gonna go to pay for daycare. I don't see my kid all day, So it's like, what if I tried to make a bigger go of this business thing, and then I got to be home with my boy, And so that was probably. So, like, obviously, still a jump to like,
Well,
shit,
it's
like,
scary
I guess,
because
like,
it's just like especially when you have a family and a kid and stuff. So like they're relying on you for.
And maybe like even a couple years prior might have even been a little bit bigger because I left like my career job to get a job where I could have summers off to do shows and work on the business and work like because my other job like I was gone all summer or like working 60-hour weeks or on the road during the week.
Movie job?
No, this was like civil engineering, materials testing. I wasn't an engineer by any means, but I just started working in the industry.
You know how I know you weren't an engineer? It's because you would have told us if you were.
Oh, yeah. I would have let you know. Don't you worry.
Like, oh, sorry. Did you see this ring? Oh, what is that?
No, definitely not an
I
engineer.
generally find they just start explaining how a hinge works to you, and you're just like, I don't care. Like that's great. But
I didn't go to school for my whole life to be an engineer, so I don't understand how that stuff works.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. LB's being the peanut gallery right now. Okay, so that's a bit of a rundown. How do we want to attack this, Matt?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking we could all just like, for example, pick things where we've taken risks, and then kind of find the ones where they worked. The ones that didn't work or whatever, and then I don't know. We could even like.
I can tell you one right now that didn't work. And I think I've told this story already about the first time I ever snowboarded. Did I tell it on this show? You guys remember that one? Whitefish, Montana? Big mountain.
Luckily, I've got such a horrible memory. Even if you did, I would go again.
So my brothers both decided this is right, and this goes right into what we're doing. We're always talking about the greatest decade of all time in the 90s. Snowboarding just became all the craze. Remember those Warren Miller videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be all just like sick ski stuff. Then snowboarding started coming in, and you knew snowboarding really picked up when they were in the Warren Miller videos.
Yeah.
And my brothers would start snowboarding, and they would snowboard while I was only skiing. And then finally I said, all right, I'm going to take this risk. I'm going to take the jump. I'm going to try snowboarding on the big mountain in Whitefish, Montana. And what did I figure? I was about 8 or 9. So it's old enough to be like, man, like you should be able to handle this. The bunny hill at the big mountain's about 20 times the size of a table.
Yeah.
And you take a chairlift up the bunny hill, which should have been my first time, but that's okay. Get off, and it started right from the top. I get off the chair and biff. And then I try to get out of the way. People are coming, super embarrassed. Okay, that's fine. Let's learn how to snowboard. And whoop, fall, whoop, fall, whoop, fall, whoop, fall. Lots of that. About an hour goes by, and I'm about a third of the way down. And I'm starting having some tummy issues. And I'm saying, okay, this is getting a little bit sketchy. Keep going, fall, fall. Now my ass hurts. Now I'm getting angry.
Plus, you're jostling your tummy around, with all these
things are shaking.
Yeah.
And get about halfway down, and that's when I say, no, I'm not going to make on the snowboard. So I kick off the snowboard, and I start walking down on my boots, and then I fell, and then I pooped myself.
So
I sat there on the bunny hill with poop in my pants.
What a shitty story.
That
It
is
was
like
so shitty.
that is definitely a fail.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I've only snowboarded one time, and that was it.
That
I
was
didn't even
it?
get a full run.
Didn't
Except for
try
my
again,
pants.
eh?
That was it. No, God, no. Are you kidding me?
Except for the full run,
Do you
running down your
understand
leg.
how mentally destroyed I was? Every time I
get it.
thought about snowboarding, I think about shit in my pants.
Yep.
Like, it was horrible. And so I had to walk down the rest of the way with poop-filled pants, then back to the condo. Had to, Mom, I pooped my pants. It was a whole thing. And all because I took that risk of saying, I'm going to try snowboarding for the first time.
I like how
Never again.
you mentioned how it was just became a thing or whatever, because I remember Murray when he was in grade 8, he brought his snowboard to this, go to Blackstrap Day or whatever,
Yeah, man.
and his principal made him take it home because it wasn't appropriate.
That's right.
You had to
It wasn't
ski.
accepted.
And even in in Colorado, there was certain ski hills that didn't allow snowboarders, so there was actually an invention where it was 2 pairs of skis, and you could like hook it together, and it turned into a snowboard. So you could like,
Snowboard.
you know, bypass
Nice.
the rules.
Yeah.
You know, you go up the chairlift with your skis, and then you get to the top and
Flip it.
But yeah, that's just funny how and now it's an Olympic sport and widely
Everywhere. Well,
accepted.
dare I say it's more
Probably
popular
Trump-
than the
yeah.
ski, And that was that. Oh man, like the videos that Warren Miller played. I'm sure you've seen the videos.
Oh, they were
too,
great. Like
where all the-
neon,
A
spandex.
lot of neon. A
Yeah.
lot of neon.
And
Yep.
they talk about how all these troublemaking snowboarders are taking over the
Yep.
hills, and it was like this big pandemic of stoner dudes, bro, out there on their snowboards, taking away from
Tubular
the-
and radical.
yeah, and taken away from the ski culture. Like it was a whole thing
Yep.
for years, and then finally people were just like, "Oh, I guess you can just do what you want.
Yeah.
It's okay if you
But-
want to snowboard, go ahead."
But for them, I think it's more about that après ski where they want it. They
yeah.
want their
Skatekeeping,
Marlows and their
skatekeeping.
crisp baguettes with runny breeze, where like snowboarders come in and they're
That actually sounds
shotgunning
delicious.
beers and
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That does sound delicious.
Well, it does. But-
All you want to do is just, crush a couple double black diamonds and then go home to a beautiful hot tub and a big bottle
Oh,
of wine and
yeah.
your charcuterie tray or something, something like that.
Yeah, it sounds.
The ski life.
That doesn't- it doesn't
maybe I
sound
should
bad.
get into skiing. That sounds pretty damn
One
good.
problem, you have
actually.
to have lots of money.
Right.
Apparently, I heard like
Right.
this year to go like for a day pass at like in Banff or somewhere, it's like $400 per person.
Nah, that's
For a
probably a little.
day.
That's what
would
I know
say.
when
That
I-
includes your gondola up and down and like your transfer from the hotel and all that, but still.
Yeah, I remember when I was going, it was like just over $100. That was
it's-
probably 15, 20
It's
years ago now.
insane.
So
it's literally to a price point where normal people can't do it.
because it was already kind of fairly, what's the word? Like
Cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
Prohibitive.
exactly. There,
Sounds about right.
nice word.
Big words
I'll
coming
just
in
mumble
hot.
it, and then no one will know.
Someone will
But yeah,
fix it.
now I can't imagine, like especially if you got a family of 4 kids or something, trying to make
That's
a
the
go
big
with
thing. You
that,
gotta go
and then
have, like, a
and it's
family trip.
it's the lift tickets, the hotels, like you say, gondola rides.
You're driving
Even
gas,
you go, you get
going
everyone
for lunch.
yeah,
you go
everyone
for
gets
hot dog,
everyone gets a
20
burger.
bucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
We took the kids to Marmot, so
Ooh.
Jasper.
From a basin.
2 or 3 years
Nice.
ago, maybe.
And?
And it was, yeah. I
That's
mean,
a
like
good
lift
deal, yeah.
tickets were $130, I think, like for an adult, $140 maybe.
That's insane.
But then, yeah, it's like the gas, the hotel, the
Yeah,
the
lunch on the
burgers,
mountain is
burgers
so
at the
expensive.
chalet. You go for a beer, $12.
The
whatever.
early snowboard mags had the like how to do it for cheap or whatever. I think I might have
see,
even
that's the
used one.
culture. I
But they
love
had like so you go to the cafeteria, you use the hot water that's free for the teas or whatever. You put
Make the
that in,
noodles.
and then you grab some ketchup, put that in there. You could grab some of the little creamers. You got yourself a tomato soup, and sometimes they even got crackers available for free.
If
So
you're lucky, yeah.
But the biggest thing, when kids, because I think we were snowboarding. They were snowboarding, so like they took a lesson because they had snowboarded a bit here, but we hadn't. And this was, I don't know. I'll take the blame for it, I guess. That
Yeah, you
because same thing. It's like you go up on a freaking mountain, and it's like just the experience of being up on a real mountain. Not
Yeah.
like we had gone to whatever Wapiti or something.
Yeah.
But I think they maybe skied and they had snowboarded a little bit at the acreage. And we're like, well, we're going to the mountains. Like, you just snowboard, whatever.
It's gonna be awesome.
So then, you take a lesson. That's another $100, whatever, yada, yada.
And it's kind of
And,
a waste of like learning when you're paying for the expensive lift ticket.
And in hindsight, whatever. Yada, yada, yada. Laurel ended up switching to skis in the afternoon. Silas stuck to
Nice.
snowboarding and was like doing fine on the bunny hill. Last run of the day, we were there with some buddies, and they were a little more experienced. And he wanted to go up, not top,
Not all
but
the
like
way.
Yeah.
the real chairlift
yeah.
kind of thing. And you could see him, like, I'm riding up with him, and he's just, like, tensing up as we go up kind of thing. Like, and I get it, right? Like, I remember my first time when I was like, oh, shit.
It's quite high up.
Just
in the-
that
yeah.
will get your nerves going kind of thing.
And the toughest part is getting off the chairlift as a snowboarder
Yep.
because you've only got the one binding
And the
in.
pressure, man.
Everyone's
the
watching.
pressure,
Everyone's
that's it,
watching
dude.
you.
That's what
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Yeah. But anyway, so
And
we
they did.
made it up. He got down in like a couple turns, and he was like, I don't know. He's like, he wasn't having it kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And so, unstraps, starts walking down, And I'm like, that's fine, dude. Like, it's
Yeah.
totally fine.
shame.
I'll just ride slowly. And it, I don't know. I feel like a shitty dad when I tell this story. Well, because, in hindsight, it's like I should have done things a little differently.
What, throw him on your back like Yoda, or what?
Well, I should have unstrapped and I should have walked, but instead I was like, I think eventually I did, but like I hadn't gotten many runs in because I was running back and forth with kids, and so I was kind of like, shit, I just spent 140 bucks
Yeah,
on a
oh my
lift
God,
ticket,
yeah.
and I've been riding for 20 years,
Yeah.
25 years. It's
Yeah.
like this is hard on me not being able to ride.
Yeah.
Rip, bro.
So whatever, we're walking down, or I'm, just going slow. Eventually I'm walking down. He's like, okay, the bunny hill where he was riding all day is like just over this little hump. He's like, I'm gonna strap in. It's like, no, dude, like let's just go to where you're comfortable. He's like, no, I'm gonna try it. Straps in, gets going. It's steeper, it's icier than the bunny hill was. Loses control, tumbles. I'm like, oh shit. Go and check on him. Like, hey buddy, how you doing? Like, you're probably fine. He's like, my leg really hurts.
Oh, no.
I'm like, it's fine. Like, how much does it hurt? Like, he wasn't bawling, crying. So I'm like, I've broken bones before, and it hurts.
Yeah.
Especially at he was 9 maybe then. Sure enough, he's like, do you think like I moved it a little bit? He's like, and like, okay, like I'm gonna call someone. We get the ski patrol. They toboggan him down.
Oh, no.
The paramedic checks it out. He's like, I don't think it's broken, but like you may want to go check it out. So then it's like, the scramble of like gathering whatever, the other kid and Amanda and yada yada. Sure enough, we go back to the hotel. Amanda's like, I'll take him to the hospital or the doctor or whatever. And like, sure enough, broke his leg. Yeah. So
See, you can't feel bad about that.
I know,
You
and
gotta-
he,
you gotta
like,
let your bird fly.
he's
bro.
the best kid ever because he's like, Dad, it's not like I made the decision
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah.
But there was instances leading up to the event where the board was too big because it was an old board of mine.
Yeah.
So it was probably a little too big for him. So
Yeah.
it's harder to control.
Yeah.
His lift pass didn't actually allow him to get up on that chairlift. I double scanned mine to get him up because he really wanted to go.
Yeah.
His buddy was going.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't think it's a good idea. But in the back of my mind, it was like, well, I want to go for a run. And like, I would like to take my kid with me.
You feel like you're a little selfish, which
For
you
sure.
aren't. And
Exactly.
The point here is that if you helicopter your kid, we see what happens.
Exactly.
You gotta let
Yeah.
the guy
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I had broken my collarbone already at 8 years old,
Yeah.
prior to his age because I was
Figure it out.
building bigger jumps on
Yeah.
my bike.
Yeah.
It's like, and so he's really good with reassuring me and like, because anytime it comes up, I'm like, oh man,
That
like
says
he
a
can
lot
see it in
about
my
you.
face.
It says a lot about you too, though.
Yeah.
You know that you would feel bad. Lots of people
Yeah,
like,
that's what good leaders do. Is they take more of
Right,
the responsibility and they take less of the praise.
Yeah.
So
So that was a risk for him, I guess, that he
Yes.
took, and he hasn't. We snow skate a little on the acreage, but he's gotten back on skis, and he like crushes it on he
Yeah.
just loves it on skis,
Yeah.
and like
That's it.
I should have known. Like I skied for from the time I was 6 to about 9. And then same thing, elementary school wouldn't let me take my snowboard
Yeah.
on the trips, and it's like, oh, I'd ski those
Yeah,
times,
yeah.
but like I was snowboarding from 9 until
Legit.
whenever.
That's a
but,
long run
yeah,
to be snowboarding.
yeah.
Because I'll tell you, I didn't snowboard. I snowboarded half of one time, and I've never gone back, all because of the embarrassment.
that was my whole life for my
You were making
teenage
snowboard videos, bro. Did you ever make
Snow-
videos when you were shooting jumps?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I actually found this super sweet. It's still one of the coolest pictures ever. It was taken on a disposable camera.
Here, bring them back.
We had built this. It was actually a buddy had built this big kicker for BMXing, and then a big ass landing ramp. And then obviously in the winter we would use the ramp, but it had this like wicked lip on it. And of course, back to, there was no the landing ramp for the snowboard. It wouldn't work the same for the BMX, yada yada.
yeah.
So we're just landing on flat, but it would shoot you up like I don't know, 8 feet high kind of thing.
Big air.
And yeah, so it's a photo of my buddy like standing underneath the jump with his snowboard at full height. And it's me, just like an indie nose poke or something over him, but it was like dusk. And I've got a nobody's bunny hug on.
Man.
It was,
Peak Uncle Mike.
yeah, it was just like, oh man, that's the coolest
That-
picture. You know, for a teenage, like a 13,
Yeah.
14, 15-year-old
How
kid.
do you,
Plus,
whatever.
how do you not bring that picture here?
Well, maybe
Yeah.
I just because I just found it actually. We were cleaning out the basement. I was like, holy
Nice.
shit, this
Yeah,
is awesome.
I want
I
to
think
see
that
it.
would be
But
very
yeah,
Actually,
that-
with a
cool
bunch of show posters as well. Not a bunch, but like some band posters and
We're
show
looking
posters.
for
And
more
I was like,
band
oh,
posters.
this is
Nice.
stuff.
for the
I mean,
wall.
I might have to put them up in my garage, but
That's fair.
maybe we can lend them.
Well, hey, I'm just saying.
Do a circuit.
We love
you know?
showing stuff off here.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a little bit about me. Before we get into, do you have one that you want to get into? A big risk?
Well,
that you took?
I could talk like because obviously there's I can talk about like life risks. I can talk about like artistic risks, or I could talk about band
Let's
risks.
do a
So
reset here
I don't.
first.
Yeah.
That's a lot of options. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for a little bit of a live read. Right here, that's our guy. Mobley Orente. Get pre-approved before you shop. Well, I love this already. The housing market's heating up and homes are selling fast. Now, if you're serious about buying, getting pre-approved isn't just smart, it's essential. Remember that, all right? Mobley Orente with TMG The Mortgage Group will help you know exactly how much you can afford so you can make strong, confident offers. With access to multiple lenders, he'll secure the best rates and terms for you, making the process simple and stress-free. We love simple and we love stress-free. Those are two great things right there. Don't lose out on your Dree home. Get pre-approved today. Dree. I said Dree instead of green. Dree home. Get pre-approved today. Mobley Orente Mortgages made simple. Give them a call, 306-370-5804. You can also text them anytime, as that is a lovely live read for our lovely friend Mom right there. If you feel like you could benefit from a live read, your business, your organization, your charity, still a couple days left for the citywide food drive for our friends at the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Center. Head to saskatoonfoodbank.org. You can check that out there and help out, as they are this is the barest bones the warehouse is every year. This time and then right around the November time, going into the winter. So they're looking to fill everything back up. Send us an email. Oh, are you guys ready? Are we ready for this?
Always ready.
It's very easy to do. Just send this email to 123 4 contact@dufferinave.com. That is the email. This is the theme song. You guys, you crushed it. 1 2 3. It touched. It's so sensitive. I just put my hand over it and went like that. Hold on. I don't feel good about that. I want to send a good one. Are you ready?
No, I can't okay.
You have to, guys. 1 2 3. Wait.
Oh, I almost lost my Fresca.
I was gonna say,
It was almost a Fresca issue.
Knuckle on the desk.
We also got a website. Hey, Royal Landers, you in the house? Royal Landers made this website. It's absolutely fantastic. Check it out.
Oh, hey.
Sorry, I had to throw out the treats.
Look at the size.
Don't give her extra treats.
Look at the size on that sign. It's just perfect.
She was sick yesterday. Well, I didn't say it was you. It might have been the treats. Either way. 3. Are you going to pull her? This is going to be good. 1 2 3. Look at him. Yankin. Dr. Isaac Yankum. You guys know who that is?
I don't.
That was, you know the wrestler Kane? By God, it's Kane! Undertaker's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a gimmick as Dr. Isaac Yankum, and he was a dentist. And he had really gnarly teeth. It was very cool. It was very fun.
That's
Dr.
amazing.
Isaac Yankum, DDS, actually, was his full name.
DDS.
We also got the Twitch going red hot. We're calling it the Hansel of Twitch streams. That's twitch.tv/Dufferin Ave Media. Uncle Brando and I just put a couple more hours on Super Ninja Boy, and we got super stuck, and it was very, very, very frustrating. So I don't know how the hell we're going to get out of our little pickle that we got in. But we're going to try our best.
You guys got this.
Next stream will be Friday, I believe, 7 o'clock. We will be doing Final Fantasy VI again. I believe it's going to be our 4th time now, as we're trying to get through. I've never played Final Fantasy VI before. Suplexed a train last week. Suplexed a train. Yeah, just walked in, suplexed him, and then I hit him with a spell, and the train died.
So if say you're on a good run, what's the how long would it take to?
All depends.
All
So
depends.
It all depends. I think Final Fantasy has a lot, and I think we're about 7 or 8 hours into it already, and there's going to be at least another 7 or 8 hours. So, a lot of fun if you're into video games and doing the cool stuff. That's what we do. Check it out over at twitch.tv/Dufferin Ave Media. I keep feeling like I'm going to get it. You ready?
Yeah, you got this.
All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
That
Fun with
was. I'd say
graphics.
that was the best
Air
one.
horn, air horn, air horn, air horn. You guys can't hear. I just love it. Party is going.
A
Talk
quick
to me,
little
Chris.
note about wrestlers. Do you think the wrestlers today, is there as much? I don't know. Do they put the same amount of work into the building the character as they did? Is it still like?
It's a lot different.
Okay.
And Uncle Brandon's gonna be kicking himself because he's my wrestling guru.
Right.
He's the guy
I
that
shouldn't
knows
even brought. I should have
everything.
saved
No,
this for
but
next
I
week.
will say this: back in like the '90s, best
Right.
decade ever, the All
Yep.
That Angst podcast is what we do. They were all cartoony, so the WWF would make cartoony guys like Duke the Dumpster Drosy, who was a garbage man, or the Goon, who was a
Yeah.
hockey player. They had all these different things, and then that sort of changed with WCW. Because NWO came in and they started making bad guys cool and making like real guys. So
Yeah.
not as much went into the characters because they were just badass dudes that were always bad guys that people would cheer for.
That's cool.
Nowadays, they have so much developmental out there for everyone. So
Right, okay.
They, like guys coming up, they'll have coaches that will like give them a gimmick and tell them what to do and how to do it. But as far as people, really putting in a lot of work, I think it's not until you find your groove.
Okay.
So you sort of do the indies thing on your own, with your own sort of little style, and then once you make it, someone up top will tell you, okay, this is what we're going to do with you, and this and that,
Right.
and change.
You're going to be a peacock now, or something.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, Dalton Castle, the top cock. That's my favorite wrestler, dude. Oh, you got me all fired up. Christopher, what is that? That, my friend, is an apple teeny. That's from wrestling. All right, back to business. We are talking about risk taking as a new member of Time to Demise, full-time member, making a big move, taking a big risk. And that led to our conversations. A couple about snowboarding, one about pooping pants, one about breaking bones. Where are you at? Let's give us a good one here, music-wise.
I'll do a music. Well, I'd say straight out of the gate, just this 25th anniversary show when it was booked, Ravenwitch was missing a guitar player. Untimely demise. We had just found out that Justin was going to be moving to Vancouver, so he said I can't play any more shows. So we were out a guitar player, and then it was like, oh, we need to book a show. Like I think Murray was kind of itching to book a show. I'm like, well, let's book a show. Let's do it.
Take a
And
risk.
at that point, didn't have Noel back in the fold. It didn't have Manza, because like my thought was like, oh, we'll just book it and then things will come together. And my thought was initially I was going to call Tim from Into Eternity.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because like he's a guy, he can play the stuff. And I messaged him, and I'm playing for his band, so I was kind of like, oh, I think you could play for mine.
ebb and flow, yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, I'm really busy because he's got a cover band, and we got into stuff, and he works a job, and I was just like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So then I kind of
Didn't
like
really think that through.
Yeah, didn't really think that through, and then literally found out that Mike was going to be coming, and then we're like, well, we got to ask him, and then sure enough, he was into it, but like. I would say this show was kind of like a risk where we don't know if it's going to pay off yet because it hasn't happened. But I'd say so far everything's falling in line where like the risk of booking the show was. And then in general, just even like when I initially was joining Into Eternity, when Tim asked me, I didn't really feel like I always kind of suffer a little bit of the imposter syndrome where it's like, oh, am I good? I don't know if I'm good enough to play the music for this band that's, opened up tours for Megadeth and Dream Theater and blah, 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 blah. So, like, initially I thought that was, like, it was very scary. And I still, even playing through the songs today, I'm like, man, I don't know if I quite got the chops for this material. But that was definitely a big risk where I took a lot of convincing myself that I could do it, and it was kind of like a fake it until you make it. And now I've been doing it over a decade, and I'm still faking it, but God willing, I'm going to get there.
Keep swimming, man.
But I don't. If you wanted me to quickly throw a non-musical one
hear
that
it, man.
also involves music, because music is kind of attached to every fiber of my being. But
love
so
it.
when Murray, this was, I'm going to say, well, it would be about 11 years ago, and Murray was dating someone at the time, and at that point, like me and Murray we were like, I've always said the Karpinka brothers of metal. The Karpinka brothers are like a local
Dude,
kind
the
of.
Karpinka brothers did an intro for our new sports show, Good Sports.
Sick.
Yeah,
look at
That's
that.
awesome.
It's amazing.
But yeah, it was
Super
like
catchy.
it wasn't Murray and Matt. It was Matt and Murray. Like even like all of our friends' kids. Like one of them for the first like 3 or 4 years of her life thought we were Matt Murray, like just because it was always, you know, us showing up, or we would be on Broadway postering together, and it was like I would always be called Murray and I wouldn't even, I'd just be like, whatever, you know, close enough. You got one of our names, so. But yeah, so like we would always go to shows together and this and that, and Murray was out with this girl, and Shooting Guns, a local band, was playing at Amigos, and I was just like, I kind of feel like a loser just sitting at home doing nothing, and I knew the show was there, and I wanted to go, and I was like, but I don't want to go and like stand there by myself like some loser. But I was like, you know what, I took a risk, you know, because again, and I went to the show, and it was that night that I ended up chatting with Aaron, and you know, we kind of, you know, like hit it. And I, at the point, I didn't know if she was single or not. We were kind of just like buddies hanging out at the show. But that was like the cat. In a dangerous time. We were lovers in a dangerous time.
We were lovers in a dangerous time. Sorry. That was you guys. That's what I'm saying.
Not waiting for me to.
But yeah, like it all just like that was an example where like me going out that one night totally changed my
everything.
Life for the better.
Everything.
So yeah, that was a cool example of taking a risk and it kind of paying off.
Well, that's, I don't know. I think that's kind of, actually, I just read your text sitting here.
Oh,
I
oh,
should have checked before, but no, I think that's the cool thing. Like, it doesn't have to be like, I'm going to go skydiving, right? Like, a risk can just be like getting out of your, like, you have to get out of your comfort zone every freaking day, right? You have to do shit you don't want to do
Yeah.
every day. Doesn't matter what it is, like in work, in life, in love, in...
Yeah. And if you don't do that, you're just going to, like, and you may like your life, but it's just going to be the exact same because you're kind of just doing the same things that you always do. But when you step out of that comfort zone, that's when there's a chance for, like, growth.
Right. And, like, yes, bad things might happen, you know, but even sometimes those bad things are not bad. Like, you can learn from it. You can, whatever, opens another door.
I went through that today.
There you go.
To learn how to edit new shows that I've never edited before and chop up and piece together and get sent to clients. It's like, man.
Well, it's scary.
How, like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, and you've got, like, the quality of LB, the frickin',
Thank God.
yeah,
He
the
was
best,
holding-
the best.
He was holding a lot of hands today, LB.
But yeah, like, you know, people that are getting involved with Damn, like,
Yeah.
you know,
And
they,
Uncle Brando was
yeah.
really big too, getting stuff
Oh, of
done.
course he
Like,
was.
It was,
Of course
it was
he
a
was.
team effort, but
But yeah, they're used to this quality, so then when you're stepping in and doing something, you don't want to be like, oh, I don't want it to look, you know,
exactly.
like, yeah.
That was my big thing, was I don't want it to look any different than what the client has been paying for this entire time.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure it's up to
It's a
par
lot
what
of
we've been doing.
pressure, like-
yeah, and now as we're transitioning some things and people are moving around, so it's, you know, more stuff falls on us, and it's just trying to stay afloat because it goes back to that imposter syndrome. Like, I don't have a clue what I'm doing.
And I don't know why I feel that way all the time, but I feel like it's fairly common for people in the artistic, you know, realm.
Quite
But
possibly.
maybe not.
I
Maybe
think,
it's just,
I think just people in general. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe that's just my own personal experience.
You might
but,
be onto
like,
something.
yeah, like you always just feel like it's like, you know,
Yeah.
there's got to be someone that's better for
Right.
this or whatever.
Or like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's literally
Like-
what we're going to do right after
There you
the
go.
show.
Gary asked me to bring my skill saw. It's like, he thinks it's like, just because I own a saw.
To be fair,
Yeah.
you did
I
say
can
it
do
would be pretty easy.
It is pretty easy. I am somewhat confident in things like that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the man
But
of this team.
but I
The
will
manliest
I will
man.
say one thing. When we did did our song or whatever, and we were recording or
Yes,
whatever, and
that
like
was
I feel
nerve-wracking
like
too.
you have a really. Obviously, you're good. I'm good, but I feel like Mike's got a really good like pitch and sense of like
I'm good.
you know.
You.
But like
you.
yeah, like when I hear you singing along to like the songs before and you did, I feel like your pitch and your like general musicianship is like you have a natural talent for sure.
Thank
Look at you
you.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that I do, but I also feel that I don't actually know. I don't know. Maybe that's no. That's like the opposite of imposter. Like I think I do, but I don't actually think I do. But then if someone you know, then you say, then maybe I do. Maybe I mean, I did always want to be a lead singer in a band. You know, 'cause
I can see what
I
you
played
definitely
guitar for
have
a
the skills for it.
Man, we got to get back to another song.
Let's
don't
get the
After-
band
after
I
the
was
big
just
concert-
thinking about- I
after
was-
the concert. We got to get back in the studio.
Honestly, I should just whip something up and we should just do it again. Do another like show where we do it because
I think that would be really good.
I'm
it was
starting
It was so quick. Hey, it was like, oh, here's the thing. It's like, well, I guess we'll just do
That's
this, and then
generally
we'll do
how it works with like the whole move, and then just with everything, these last 3 months have kind of been the busiest that I've ever been. But I feel like I'm starting to wrap my mind around where I can get time, and I feel like Mondays are key for me. I just need to make those like don't get time burglared by anything. Just like come in with a game plan and. But I'm always like with the new EP with Untimely Demise, I went over 5 Sundays in a row, and every day we said we're just going to write a song. Like that's what's going to happen, and it's not like we need better riffs. It was like we're going to write a song. So that's kind of I've trained myself that when a song is being written, we're writing a song, and if it's not the best thing ever, we'll write another one. But I find then you don't get into those kind of along the lines of like with what we're talking about risks and finding the perfect time to do something or whatever. It's nice to just do it.
Man, we've been sitting here, and again, these shows just go by so fast once we really get into it. And I look around here and I see all of these things. And if you were to go back about a year and 3 months ago, like this place was bare bones. There was nothing in here. And then LB came along, put everything together, put it all up. And the whole time he was doing all of that, in my head, I'm laughing, like, thank God I don't got to deal with that. That looks like there's no way I could ever figure out how to turn on a camera or put this light in and set all this stuff up. And that was like my thing going into it was, thank goodness I don't have to deal with any of that.
And he was secretly mentoring you the whole time.
Literally. And not just him, everybody here. Like being the one person that lives inside this studio, everyone who comes in is always teaching me more shit. And I was at a point, like when this whole thing went up, I was at a point where I'm like, all I want to do is sit down, talk for an hour, and go inside. That was my goal.
Sweet child.
This is the only time where I get to be like, this is my me time.
The one job that you were supposed to do is the only, that's your rest.
So this is my rest. And then, because after this, we got to go do that. And then we got to do this. And then we're going there. Strip down tonight, by the way. Going to be awesome. Live studio audience will be heading out there. Equal will be performing. It's going to be fantastic. Thanks to our friend Curtis Anderson. LB's doing the sound.
Of course he is.
No pressure, LB. No pressure at all. Just a bunch of people watching and a live crowd ready to chirp you. Here. So just that alone, and it explains perfectly what we've been talking about, is the one risk I took was, okay, I will just take every cent I own and put it into a studio. Every single penny, and then we'll go in debt even more. We'll just do this right off the top so we don't have to play catch up. That was the only risk I took. And I'm easy because I don't know, like I grew up spoiled rotten. Like I grew up very well off, and I'm so grateful and thankful every single second of every day for that. And I've gone from that to being such a minimalist where like I can get by like $100 a week. I can get by.
Yeah.
I can survive.
Yeah.
And you learn this. And so once you go from that big thing into this little thing, it's easy to make the sacrifice for everybody, to take the risk for everybody, but I didn't expect everybody to pay it off so well and so much back. As in teaching me how to edit videos, how to make transitions, how to get these cameras to work when they're not working, how to do pre-tapes, how to get lights set up, how to run a Twitch stream studio, how to run a set, how to frickin' install an AC.
Yeah, I've noticed like kind of a quiet confidence that's been building, over this last year, just with all these like skills that you've built. And definitely, man, I respect you, Gary. Like that's awesome, man.
Like the whole, and this is not a look at me thing, because we all know I hate look at me. This is more of a thank you to everybody for getting me to a place I didn't want to be. Like the only risk I took was financially, and now that risk turned into all of these new skills. I wouldn't say talents because I'm not really good at any of it, but I can figure out how to do it. I'm like forced to learn all of these things. Yeah. And it's so much. There's so many things involved to running a
you
place.
Can't even list it all, and then just even like acquiring talent for people to come in and all of these things, and
then you get people who they want things now, and you're like, okay, well, I guess like today it was like, well, Network Ryan isn't around, so I guess we'll figure it out. And that was all Uncle Brian. He's like, man, we'll figure it out. Yeah. I was freaking out in my brain. Like I legit had a freak. I'm like, well, I guess we suck. Everything's brutal, and I'm gonna go die. It's like, no, man, we'll figure it out. And we figured it out. We always do. And that's the thing. That's the whole point of the
And I
conversation.
always come back to that with any of these risks or anything. It's like everything that we've did up to this point, we've pulled off, for the most part, So like with that track record, I find that's the way I cheat myself or lie to myself into doing something riskier again.
I like that. You guys remember that conversation we had about gutter cleaning? And how if you went out and started like cleaning gutters,
Yeah.
I do.
you can make some cake.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm sitting in the house here, Margaret and we're having a lovely little visit, little cuddle, and I hear a knock on the door. I'm like, well, that's weird. No one ever knocks on the door unless it's like people wanting to sell stuff.
Yeah.
And so I go to the door, and it's this young kid. He's like, hey, man, me and my buddies, we started this little business, and we're doing gutters, we're doing windows, and this and that.
Nice.
Super nice dude. And I looked him dead in the eye. I said, bro, I have no money. And he's like, oh, okay. I said, but I'll take one of those because I like your hustle. Like, it wasn't overwhelming. He came to me, just mentioned him and his buddies are trying to do this thing. And then they got these things.
Look at
Isn't
this.
that crazy?
Advertising?
The Squeegee Kings, they're called. They do exterior window cleaning, interior window cleaning, solar panel cleaning. You want to talk about, like, state-of-the-art, up-to-date.
This ain't no
thing.
lemonade
Yeah.
stand.
Gutter cleaning, power washing, and lawn care. All those things we talked about, like someone should be doing that. I just wanted to mention it because someone is doing it. They took the idea
Damn
and ran
it.
with it. Well, that's good. Well, we don't want to put
That's
the
why
work,
you don't
right?
say the good ideas on air.
These guys, like, look, they got the big long things to go all the way up,
Oh,
the
yeah.
extenders, and they're on the roofs, and they're getting the gutters out. So I just thought that was really neat. That's something we were looking for.
Is there any
Found it.
clever misspelling of anything or no? No. That's
Squeegee
a
Kings.
funny name in itself.
It's very impressive. I just want to say shout out to the Squeegee Kings. If you want to get your gutters done or any of that other stuff, check them out because it seems like a very cool thing. And I'm all about, and that's the other thing that this place has done to me is a new appreciation for entrepreneurship. People just getting out and doing
It's the
taking
most
dive.
badass thing someone can do,
just
starting a
saying,
business.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to take everything I got and just put it into this.
Because everyone
go.
kind of, when you say that, everyone kind of gives you that look like, all right, in 6 months you'll be back at the old job or whatever.
Do you remember how many times I've told you guys while building this place, how many people told me I was not just insane, like legit crazy. Like, nothing you're saying makes sense. This is an insane dream. You probably should just reel it in. Like, stop. And I'd be like, well, but no,
But
you guys,
then-
but it's
We're
here.
going
It's all here.
streaking.
How can you not see it? It's right in here. And everything right down to the setup. All of this was envisioned. But having the ability to explain that's impossible because no one will ever understand that vision that you have. So just to have the gusto to say, I'm going to just go for it. Like these dudes, like a couple buddies, just saying, like, we're going to go for it and we're just going to crush the gutter jobs, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff. I was very proud of that guy, and I told him, I said, I'll take that and I'll tell my friends because it's really cool what you're doing. They got free quotes, too. I should have asked him for a quote.
Yeah, I should have got a
Oh,
quote.
there you go. Maybe
Maybe I did have that
free.
money.
Maybe it's free.
Yeah. I didn't think that through very well, did I? I'm just so used to telling everyone at the door no because I have no money.
That's my
That's what comes
go-to.
with
Yeah.
being a minimalist.
Or
right?
you do a little barter thing, right?
Well, I guess, see,
Maybe,
this was
maybe
just,
that just got you.
this was just out
free
of
window
sheer
thing.
passion for, like,
Yeah.
he was a, and you know what the other crazy thing is, my God, if you're like a younger kid trying to get into a job or trying to get into work in any way, the ability to carry a conversation and look someone in the eye and explain what you're doing and how you're doing it with like enunciation and like grammar, like the conversation was so good. I could tell he was a young,
Yeah.
hungry kid
Yeah.
that just wanted
Right.
to hustle.
And just
Yep.
when you feel comfortable with
Yeah.
like talking, that's a big part of it. Where like you can always smell like the lack of confidence if someone's got you're like
That's
the
it.
old Gil's gonna that
Totally.
salesman.
Yeah, and you could tell he was just a good kid. And he lit up when I said, I'll take one of those. I'm going to tell my buddy. He's like, oh, thanks. Like, you could tell he was happy. And that's sort of a good life lesson for everybody. I was talking to another buddy who said he was putting a bid on like a vehicle or something like that. And he didn't bid as high as the top bidder, but the guy gave him the winning bid because of his grammar and his manners within his interactions. He said, the only reason that I chose you was because you have great grammar and I can tell that you care.
Well,
It's not just like
yeah.
BRB,
Yeah.
you know, the OMG type of stuff.
Even-
and it was a full on like Here's why I want this thing, and here's what it would mean to me. Like,
Yeah, I totally
you
get
know?
that. Even with me and Aaron on our bid, when we bid on our house, we had Aaron wrote a nice letter saying, like we share the same, love your house, your garden is amazing, and we
Yeah,
plan
that
on
goes
like
a long way, man.
maintaining that. Like where I could see. If they put all this effort into building this nice backyard and garden, then if we were to just like
Tear it
wipe it
out,
all out
right.
or whatever, that would be kind of hurtful for
Yeah.
so like just saying that we share similar passions and we're gonna like maintain your garden, and we noticed that they had a record collection. We were also into music and stuff. So
Did you open up your Propaganda album? Bro, I want to know what color that vinyl is.
okay, it's happening tonight. I'll do a
You left me on such a cliffhanger. I was rewatching the show, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to hear what color
No,
it is.
I wasted my time recording music.
How dare you? How dare you create when you could be enjoying beautiful new Propaganda?
Yeah, honestly, I do like that I'm at least held accountable,
Yeah.
with this
Well,
show.
I
Yeah.
love colored vinyl. Like that's
Oh,
one of those
yeah.
things that just makes
Yeah.
wow. It makes it so cool.
Well,
so
you know what?
different,
Why don't I
stands
just
out.
bring it to the show next time and we unbox it
Oh,
here?
man, we can have an
There you
unboxing
go.
here.
Yeah.
We've only ever done one unboxing in the history of this network. And that was from our friends at King Palm. Uncle Grandma and I, with Uncle Grandma's
sweet.
Storytime, we did a live unboxing, which
Nice.
was really cool. We got a lot of cool stuff in there.
I would love
So-
to box live.
Just
like
like,
Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
oh, I thought just
Well,
like
not-
putting the packing peanuts.
No boxing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would like to box.
Fist out. How are the packing peanuts? Still make them?
Delicious.
Still good?
Delicious.
Uncle Brando swears by them, I'm telling you. He's such a fan.
Ah,
It's
they're
crazy.
actually. I need to order some more. I'm dwindling down on them.
I wonder why. Do you see him lurking around? Just in the
Yeah.
back. Does he? Running off. I
Yeah.
think that'd be pretty cute. Music-wise, before we go, we got a couple minutes left. We know June 7th is going to be a banger.
Yes.
Any other bands coming to town in the foreseeable future?
I think it's June, maybe. Mad Caddies.
Shut up.
at
Did we ever get down to the bottom of
Louis,
these
I
rumors that
believe?
the lead singer of the Mad Caddies lives in Saskatoon now because he's dating a Saskatoon girl?
He is dating. Actually, so I ran into him at the Good Riddance show
Sweet.
at Amigos
Amazing.
a couple, I don't know, a year and a half ago. And it was like, hey, Chuck, like, what
Chuck,
are you
that's his
doing in
Yeah.
Saskatoon?
Yeah.
You know,
Hold
it's
on,
cool.
did you start the rumor? Because you're the guy that told me.
Probably, maybe, I don't know.
You were sperming.
Yeah.
Either way.
So
Continue, I
he's
interrupted. My bad.
and yeah, he's been dating a young lady she doesn't, I think she lives like just outside of Saskatoon kind of
In
thing,
the
but
area.
in the area, like, whatever.
Let's say Asquith.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
And anyway, so he's like, yeah, I'm back here like every few months kind of thing. And so they've played, I think, like they've been here every year now for
Yeah.
the last few, basically since
Makes sense.
he's been
Checks out.
half living here kind of thing.
Oh my God! So
And,
we gotta go to a
um,
Mad Caddy.
I would be
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
And then also,
Drinking for 11, that's just what I'll do. Keep going. When I'm
oh
not
shit.
with you,
Oh
my heart goes to
my
bed.
God. I'm sorry, I'm having a
End
brain
of the
fart.
bar.
It's another band.
That's just
I
where
just
I'll
saw
be.
the announcement today. They're playing Black
Try
Cat.
and come find
They
me.
played with the Queers
'Cause I'm
like a year and a half
already
ago. Why can't I remember their name?
You got this, bro.
You got
this. We're gonna wake up Frankie right away.
Play music. It's kind
There we go.
of, Teenage Bottle Rocket.
Ah,
Took me a
dude,
while.
is one of those guys dating someone here too? 'Cause
I don't,
they're
I don't
here
think
all
so,
the
but
time,
they
right?
were
Yeah.
here. Like I saw them
And
with
before that-
face to face many years
Yeah.
ago, and then I saw them with the Queers probably 2 years ago now this fall, and then now they're back again. But they're headlining the show, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Couple shows.
I like them. I'd go see
Yeah,
them again.
that's
They're-
that's
I'm really
something
working
good.
on leaving
Yeah.
the house more. And I
Yeah.
feel like shows would be a good way of doing it. I owe you a couple now.
well, and it's like.
Right there.
I mean, maybe not that you're gonna walk, but if you chose to walk, you could potentially
This guy's
walk
saying
to
walk.
Broadway.
What is this, bro? A Pantera
That's what
show?
I used to
Jeez.
do. I just live a
yeah,
couple
you're
blocks
a,
down.
yeah, that's because you're
I was
a
a walker. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is, a day walker. All right, you guys, I think it's time to give Frankie the old kickerino here and make our way out for the day.
I was a night walker too.
Yes. It's a good movie.
I don't know. I think that has a double entendre. Does that
for
mean
sure.
I'm a Dracula or something?
A lady of the evening.
Or
a
okay,
man
yeah,
of the
there you
evening,
go.
Yes.
Or
Or friends of the road, if you will.
yeah, there you go.
That's it. What a day. What an absolute day. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. To Network Ryan for helping us out, as well as Uncle Brandon, LB, solving problems. Dragon was in here earlier. Hopefully he's going to be picking me up to go to Strip Down tonight. Going to see Equal live, 8 p.m. Check it out. Curtis Anderson, your host, LB, doing the music. We've got the Phenom on the ones and twos in there as well. 2/3 of our production team. He doesn't do the sound. I think he does the visual mixing, maybe. Yeah. So funny. LB's always trying to be real, hey? He's everything's so, where it's like to the point.
Matter of fact.
Thank you, Matt. Very matter of fact. That's the one. So to the boys, looking very forward to that. It's going to be a fun time. To you two jabronis, yet again, another amazing, incredible show. Thank you for bringing a game plan. I feel like we learned a lot about risk taking.
Yeah, I like
the
it.
importance of it.
But it's not like you need to talk about it the whole time. It's just a starting point.
That's good.
You know?
And that's the whole thing.
Totally.
The conversations we have here are always so fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm happy I got to tell the story for the second time on the air about me pooping my pants, snowboarding on the big mountain in Whitefish, Montana. I hope I was only 8 or 9. Could you imagine my parents told me I was like 13 or 14?
I was gonna say you had to have been a little older than 8 or 9. I don't know.
Well, when you break it down, when snowboarding was really taking off, maybe I should get to the bottom of this before I keep telling this story. It might be even more embarrassing than it
I
already
feel
is.
like that could check out still.
Like that would have been 90? 91?
Well, yeah, if I was 8 or 9. Yeah. That's a good question.
It's a bit early.
I think I might leave it for now. Maybe just stop telling the story about pooping my pants.
It was last
After
winter,
that.
Gary.
We didn't say which time.
Well, if pooping your pants is
That
cool,
was just the
consider
first
me
time
Miles
you-
Davis.
That was just the first time you pooped your pants on the hill. Or-
Live. This is why we go live right here. Thank you to you, most of all, for being a part of this each and every day. We love and appreciate you helping us push this movement of making the world a better place, doing good things, and having them happen to you. And having that whole process of karma and realizing how it works. Karma is very real, all right? Remember that. Do good things. We just said it. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Go check out Strip Down.
Smell you later.